Well, hello there guys, welcome to the Battle of Antietam with the Confederacy. If you guys haven't seen the first part of this Let's Play, I would highly recommend you go and check that out to get an idea of exactly what this battle is about and how we're performing. So guys, we are still trying to defend the area here so the enemy doesn't get to the Sunken Road. I think I want to move Stewart back here, but I'd also like to get the supply wagon a little bit closer to these units here. Unfortunately, it's also almost out of ammo, so this isn't looking good for any of the supply wagons. As you can see, we no longer have any men in the actual cornfields. Don't think we need them, and we're basically just holding our men here at the church. We're not moving forward for an attack. If the enemy comes to us, great. If not, we're staying put. It's that simple. We could also make a few skirmisher units out of the existing units we have, and I think I'm going to do that with Kershaw if I'm able to. So yeah, we got some skirmishers out of Kershaw, and I'm going to use them to just kind of harass the enemy. Oh, there comes Gordon, and this is going to give a chance for Sems to fire and for our artillery to fire shell shot at Gorman as well. See, this is exactly what I was trying to do, is piss the enemy off enough that they would actually be silly enough to go for an attack, and that's exactly what happened. Look at that. You can even see tracer rounds. Of course, they're not actually tracers. I'm going to pause here because our right flank is also being attacked here. We absolutely need to pay attention to what's going on the Sunken Road. So I'm going to get Ripley up here. I'm going to get coming up here as well. And hopefully a general, yeah, James Longstreet. That's what I'm talking about, boys. Let's bring him up. I'm also going to try to get an artillery piece because I think Peterson is about to be overrun here. Let's see if we could get Pryor as well. The enemy is definitely quite close here, though, and I think this is a more dangerous zone than the other one. All right, let's find out. Come on, Ripley. Let's fire. We should have been at the top of this hill before, but we had so many other things to focus on that we kind of ignored it, for lack of a better word. All right, we're going to be attacked here. I want to see what's going on in this situation. The thing that frustrates me about this part of the battlefield is the enemy has a lot of men in the woods, which makes our task a lot harder. Obviously, they have better cover. We are also in the woods, so this is basically just a wilderness battle. There's the Irish Brigade, and General Franklin's troops are arriving too. My goodness, guys. What can we do here? We're getting great shots here on the far eastern flank at the very least. And I'm going to move Kershaw skirmishers over here to harass the enemy artillery. Let's see how we're doing against the enemy infantry here. Not bad, not bad. Go on, right? Don't be afraid to shoot Stockholm. He's got Stockholm Syndrome. Oh, I'm just awful with puns. I can't help myself, guys. I can't help myself. It's like somebody with Tourette's syndrome. No offense to anybody with Tourette's. Here we go. Boom. Alright, now we are stacking our units, which is not the most recommended thing. But due to the situation, I'm kind of allowing it to occur. I'm not sure. I think that could actually lead to a little bit of friendly fire. Let's grab these guys and put them... We could actually bring them to support this flank, which is, I think, exactly what we're going to do, because we're doing really well near the church. So, yeah, of course we need to defend the Sunken Road, but I think keeping the church under our control is really going to help turn the tide of battle. Beautiful. Look at that. We've got the enemy running away. I want to get this artillery fierce in a little closer, and Brigadier General Roswell Ripley is wounded. That is not good, guys. I think we'll go ahead and advance just to get some shots. I could charge... And in fact, I'm going to. We're going to get hit hard with artillery. But I think we can get rid of some of the enemy arty units, which would really help. Here we go. Yup, get those bayonets out, boys. Show them no mercy. These Federals have given us enough trouble. Come on now. Anderson, get over here. Okay, the Texas Brigade is out of ammo. And our ammo wagon is pretty much empty. It does seem like we have some supply, but for whatever reason, it's not getting to the Texas Brigade. We need to supply small arms. That's what happened. Derp. Look at that. Goodrich is right on top of our men, but as long as we can keep them here in the woods for the remainder of the time, well, we can still get a victory. As you can see, I think you guys are starting to see why I needed to bring up some of these men. I might even need to bring up some more, because now Smith is going to be attacking us, and I believe Smith attacks from here. Yeah, he's already got some units on the field. And all we can do now is just kind of sit back and wait, essentially. Fire, Sanders. Irish Brigade is approaching. Very brave men, but they're not going to stick around if they're being massacred, so I'll move the Tigers up. Unfortunately, the leader of the Tigers, I think this is Ewell, was killed. Man, losing Ewell is a huge loss to the Confederacy. I'm actually going to hit Crawford. No, let's hit the Irish Brigade. I'm much more afraid of them than I am of Crawford's division. We'll get Jubilee early. My favorite. And sure enough, Jubal stands up to his name. He's lost 965 of his men, but he still continues to fight. That either makes him a really good general or a really bad general. He just routed from the field, by the way. And it looks like the Federals are attempting a mass attack here. We probably should have moved some of these cannons up over here. A bit late for that now. Now the enemy is definitely attacking. We've got a bunch of generals here, too. We need to get that infantry up here, guys. Nice. Let's get some more of that infantry. That's okay. We can worry about the church when the rest of our men arrive. Right now, our job is to defend against the advancing Federals. Yep, they've routed Sanders. We need to get Semmes on the case. And I'll actually have Shoemaker start firing at the Irish Brigade. Hopefully they don't shoot at him first or get crushed by all of these guys with bayonets. But it looks like Dana, with 1,792 men, is going to be forced to fall back here. Shoemaker, though, is taking a nasty hit. Come on, Shoemaker. Get these generals over here. Out of harm's way, hopefully. Oh, we've got some more supplies. Let's bring these up. And I think we might want to fall back here. I want to see what's going on at the Sunken Road. So we're managing to hold this. And I'm not sure. I think if we hold the Sunken Road but don't hold the church, we may still be able to win the battle. I really don't remember. It's been a while since I've played Antietam. Now, of course, winning as the Confederates is hard to begin with. But we're going to see if we can't make it happen. Evans fire at Irwin. We will let these guys go on the field of battle, except for Armistead. First of all, Armistead is a great general. Number two, he doesn't have many men left here. All right, Manning fired Caldwell. This is the support we needed. A unit like Manning, and see, even with the cover of the woods, Caldwell is still going to be routed by just overwhelming firepower here. We've got Barksdale and Semmes right here, and we've also got Brooke to worry about. Luckily, we've kind of got him cornered by 2 units. I need Kershaw to be firing at his absolute best. He needs to be shooting, and he needs to be shooting really, really well for this to work out. Fire at the Philadelphia Brigade. We've routed them once with just artillery. We can do it again. Come on, boys. Canister shot. Let them have it. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like the group that was attacking the Sunken Road is now attacking the church. Looks like Paul Semmes was wounded, but there we go. It apparently was just shell shot, but enough to send the Philadelphia Brigade boys running for cover. We definitely don't want them encircling us, so I'm going to try to focus fire there on Brooke. And I don't expect the Federals are going to stay here too long, to be honest with you. There we go. There's some canister shot. If you go to those woods to this day, you can find canister shot in all the trees. Maybe you can. There we go. Newton is getting bombarded with shell shot. That is shell shot, by the way. Yeah, I think we're going to move Evans up. We are going to have to attack with a few of these guys. The Sunken Road seems pretty safe. In terms of defense, I think we're able to hold off the enemy, at least so far. So I'm going to move some of these guys forward to start engaging and assisting with the defense. And some of them are going to move up here to defend the church, of course. There we go. Brooke is on the way. Keep firing. Don't stop. Morris is also running. And now the enemy has to move even more to get in the position they want. Although they are charging with Bartlett. This is a little troubling. Maybe a little bit more than a little. Come on, artillery, we need you right now. We need you right now, boys. Reload, canister shot right now. Schumacher, switch your shots. Switch your shots. I like that. The reload actually only went down a little bit and came back so that we could get that final shot. That's really cool. So many of our commanders have been wounded in action or killed in action during this battle. And it really represents what Antietam was really like. Antietam was an extremely bloody battle. As I believe the second bloodiest battle of the Civil War. The first, I think, is Gettysburg. Could be Antietam. Technically, maybe casualties-wise, it could be Antietam. Not deaths-wise, I don't think. There we go. Oh, Evans, you're way close to Barnes. We'll have him run into position. Well, it looks like they're already firing at Newton. And here's Posey. And Barnes is out of here. Every time I see Barnes, I think of the movie Platoon. Just that scene. Barnes! Don't do it, Bonds. Come on, guys. Keep him off us. Keep him off us, boys. For Dixie's land we make our stand, to live and die in Dixie. Bartlett is about to run here. All the Federals on that field. It's amazing. We also have a bunch of our guys there, too, from the earlier parts of this battle where our men were holding the fence. But overall, I think the Federals are going to have some major casualties to contend with during this fight. You know, if you have more men, it goes to reason that if the enemy has decent defenses, you're going to take more casualties. You're packed in tighter, you know, there's more of you, so the chances of us actually getting a hit, the probability of getting a hit are going to be higher, if that makes sense. My logic could be totally flawed here, and if it is, let me know, but I think that's kind of how it works. If you're facing a larger enemy, and you have the ability to hold them off and the ammo to hold them off, there's a good chance you could inflict more casualties on him. There aren't as many of you, number one, and as long as you're willing to put up more of a fight and have the weaponry to do so, the chances are the enemy is going to take more casualties. Of course, this doesn't apply if the enemy not only outnumbers you, but outguns you, etc. There's a lot of different factors that go into this. But in this case, I think we're absolutely going to come out with more, or the enemy is going to come out with more casualties than us, despite the fact that they clearly control, or more or less control, the battlefield. That is to say, even though we're defending our positions, they're controlling when and where we fight. It's completely up to them. And as you know, I believe it was Sun Tzu that said, it might not have been Sun Tzu, but somebody said that you should be the one controlling where to fight. That's when you know you're winning the war, essentially when you're choosing where the battles occur. I didn't really realize Law here was still fighting. It's a God-fearing man. We're going to move our our cavalry down to attack their artillery. Close, but no cigar. And let's see if we can't rout Monroe here. So I'm going to approach really calmly at first. And that beautiful line, as long as it holds, we can win, boys. We're holding both areas so far. We're so close, I think, to, if not the last part of the battle, close to the finale of the battle. I don't want to charge until I'm close enough to actually get an impact effect. And we're totally out of ammo, so our men better make every shot count right now. Charge. Come on, boys. You would not want that Confederate horde charging at you. That spells bad news. May have charged a bit early, though. We are getting some shots off with our carbines, and the enemy's going to rout. We're still going to go in there with our sabers, though. Nice. I'm going to make sure, look at this. Got to make sure that the church is not being taken. I'm going to put ransom right here. Nearly dropped an awful pun there. If you guys want to put a pun for that one, drop it down below. Ransom, ransom, something. Come on now, boys. Stab away, Hempstead. Stab away. I think we can get the hell out of here and leave Monroe alone. And actually, you can see some Union men already routing the field. It's a very good sign. Okay, Burnside attempts to cross the bridge. Wow, guys. So we have gotten to the next part of the battle. The Bluecoats make one last attempt to break us. They seem to mobilize their forces to pass this stone bridge. It's time to give a fight here. So another front in the battle, essentially. Watch for more Union infantry that can cross the river. So we know that the Union is sending a lot of different men, and the city of Sharpsburg must be defended, General, at all costs. I think he's talking to me. I'm pretty sure. We must push the Yankees back north of Dunkirk Church. That's a hell of a request. You can see how many Yankees there are, and I'm not sure we can do that. And finally, the Sunken Road area. Clearing this perimeter around the city will secure our victory. We have so much to do, and essentially all that's happened is 2 new fronts have been opened up, which makes our job harder. I'm going to immediately get some infantry brigades over here. I can see the enemy approaching, so I'm going to get up here on this hill. I think you guys can see that hill, and I'm pretty sure this is going to make for a great position to hold off the enemy. It's a Nagel. Come on, Tombs. Total miss by our cannons, unfortunately. And I'm wondering if we should move some of these artillery positions up. I think we should. We've got some supply wagons. That's a lot of good news. We're going to get them up there, one to the Sunken Road, and the other one will get up here to the woods. Also want to move Barksdale back up to the front. Remember, we have to push the enemy back here. The Union secured the stone bridge. What the hell? I was worried about that. Well, we're going to try to re-secure it. Actually, Nagel may be about to rout. Got anybody else over here? Garnett. Bring him through the woods. And we re-secured the ridge. There's going to be a lot of back and forth during this battle. It's pretty typical of most American Civil War battles. I'm not going to send all my men over to defend the ridge, but just a few, because I think up here on the hill we actually have a winning chance. Over there, not so sure. Get Wall back to the woods. Oh, and the enemy's charging us. Now, the trick is to try and get as many of them out here in the open as possible. That's where we can get the most damage. So once again, I'm going to try to cut off some of these units. These are tactics Napoleon would do, is cut off select units from the rest of the army, target them until they run, and of course you weaken the enemy army. Instead of trying to spread that damage out, you focus on just 1 or 2 units. Boom. Let's get Newton back. We're getting awfully close, boys. We might have to divert some of our forces here from the Sunken Road. Sanders, give Brooke hell. Sanders could potentially break Brooke here. As you can see, he is about to rout. His men do not want any more of this fight. Keep it up, keep it up. And now I'll focus on Anderson. He's pretty weak as is. So is Hoffman here. It's Dustin Hoffman. My goodness. Is it really you, Dustin? Oh, Manning. Oh, Manning. Get up here, son. A 3-star general. Just hanging out, doing nothing. There we go, guys. Major offense here by the enemy. Offensive. Man, that fire is coming from everywhere. What about over here by the bridge? Incredibly, we seem to be holding it. Maybe we'll move another unit over here in the woods. The woods around the bridge, I think, are what is defending us from the fact that the enemy outnumbers us here. We're still managing to hold them back, and their charges aren't really working. A lot of dead bluecoats there, although you could see a line of graycoats here. Our men have definitely suffered during this fight. There's no doubt about that. I think I want to put Walker here in this part of the woods. Brigadier General James Kemper is killed! Kemper is killed, boys! That's like straight out of a horror movie, losing Kemper. Alright, let's fire at Ferrero. Come on, come on. Making me hungry. Your name is making me hungry, Ferrero. Get some supplies in here. We do. Let's get them over to right. Now, it looks like we may be losing the church. If we are going to lose the church, I recommend that we pull back to the Sunken Road and to Sharpsburg. Look at the amount of craters here. Look at the amount of bodies. This is unbelievable. Wow, just wow. Come on, Rhodes, we need you to shoot at Hancock here. He's got a full load to fire, but he's got to get into range. And I don't like being flanked here by Hancock, so I'm going to get closer, have my men run into position to fire. Fortunately, Hamilton was forced back there. Fire away. Good shooting. So now they're definitely traversing out in the open. And if I could send more men, I would. We could send a ransom up there, but there is no guarantee that we're going to be able to force the enemy back or hold the church. That's certainly our goal, though. Wow, look at that. Armistead's being hit here. Evans fire. All right, there we go. Hancock is back. Let's move Rhodes in position so he can actually assist here with this frontal assault happening at the church. And I'm going to fire at Irwin. Looks like a good target, and he's on the move, and we're going to get a flanking shot. There we go. Where's the rest of our reinforcements? We don't have many, but what we do have, we must use. Durr, that makes sense. What we do have, we must use. Most obvious comment yet, Agrippa. Good job. Just need a book of Agrippa quotes. We used to have that when we had the forums. Maybe time to get those forums back. What do you boys say? If you think we should have the forums back, let me know in the comments down below. That's definitely something I will consider as we move in here to the future. Nathan Evans is killed. Another Brigadier General down. My goodness. This is why it's not a good idea to put Brigadier Generals in charge of infantry brigades. There could be problems. It's like owning a pet venomous snake. Everything could be fine, or there could be some major problems. So keep this in mind. Union secured Dunkers Church. I was worried about that, and this may mean that we need to fall back. I do want to try to save as many of our boys as possible, and I do still want to put up a bit of a fight. I don't want to give up the church that easily, but the fact is the numbers are against us. The enemy absolutely outnumbers us, and look at that, even Kershaw surrendered. And he is a vicious Confederate. He's not a guy that's going to surrender easily, so the enemy definitely showed us who's boss so far. Fire. Alright guys, to see the conclusion of this battle, I do hope you guys will turn in to part 3 of our Battle of Antietam as the Confederates. And right now we've got a lot to do, because we actually have to hold the town off from enemy attacks, and I believe they're beginning to approach. The Sunken Roach is also looking like it's faltering. So yeah, the old Sunken Roach. Thanks again guys, take care, I'll see you in the next one.